Well, every parent warns their child not to talk to strangers, but did you know that kids' devices are collecting massive amounts of data on them? In fact, more than 2/3 of the 1,000 most popular iPhone apps used by children collect and send their personal info out to the advertising industry.
If that's not bad enough, by the time your child is 13, advertising technology has collected an average of 72 million data points about their online behaviour. Digital wellbeing specialist, Dr. Joanne Orlando, welcome to the show. These are mind-boggling numbers. A lot of parents probably don't even realise that apps are collecting and collating children's data on such a large scale. What sort of information are they collecting, and then what are they doing with that?
Yeah, even I'm surprised by this data. So there's around 390,000 apps for children online, okay? So the kind of data they're collecting is quite personal. So a child's name, date of birth, their location, video, audio, images, their contacts, plus every move that they make on that app. So all this information is collected and it's kind of ripe for the selling. So parents get really worried that, strangers are going to contact their child online. But the reality is this information is sold. So thousands or hundreds of thousands of strangers have got quite intimate details about their child. We don't know who's got it, what they're doing with it, and we can't get that kind of data back. So I think it takes stranger danger to a whole new level.
And Joe, we should point out too that this isn't young kids using Instagram and they shouldn't be on it because they're under 13. You're talking about apps which are specifically designed for 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. It could be the reading and the writing apps, that sort of thing. Are they still collecting data when they're not using the apps?
Yes, interestingly, so they collect data as soon as a child starts using the app. So when they're using it, when they're not using it but still signed in. And then a new study has just shown they took 70 apps that schools use. And they found that 95% of those apps were still collecting data even when the child wasn't signed in. So you think how many apps use... It's still going on.
So they're collecting data from other apps or other things that you're doing online.
That's right.
While you're not into that app.
For whatever you've given consent to. So if a child is using, say, 20 apps, they're all just collecting data at the same time, some while the child's on, but some while the child is off.
And let's be real, no child or parent is reading terms and conditions before you hit accept, right?
You're just checking that box.
That's incredible. So age ratings on these apps, when they have to check in and put their age, that means nothing, right?
No, the age rating is for the content. So if it's a 5 to 8 year old app, it means that the kind of content is suitable for a child 5 to 8. It's got nothing to do with this privacy. Now, there is a federal law which is based in the US, which actually restricts apps from collecting personal data about children. But it was last looked at in 2013, it's pretty old. Plus, if a child doesn't have to put their date of birth in, then an app can claim that they don't know the age of the child. So there's this massive loophole.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Is it true apps targeted at children have 3 times more advertising than other apps? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it just gets worse, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
They do. So if you've ever watched a child play an app or play a game online, often an ad will pop up. And when I do research with children, I'll just watch them, they'll be playing their game, and then they'll just start playing the ad. They won't know the difference between an ad and the content, depending on the age of a child. And in my research, when I ask parents or ask children, where did you get the idea for getting new apps? And they go, I just saw an ad and it looked really good. So it's absolutely working, and that's why so much money is being spent on advertising.
And that's where they're so clever, those content makers, where they can make an ad look like a game and will be compelling and sticky for the kids to hang around.
Yeah.
Is this a bit of a loophole in the laws, do you think? Because there's laws relating to this.
There is. It's a massive loophole. So this federal-based US law, which most of the world uses, is too old. Plus the issue is that these apps are developed in one country, used in another country, so the global scale of these apps makes it very difficult to enforce these kinds of laws.
Okay, so that's the problem. What's the solution?
Yeah, so it's not all hopeless. So I don't think we're all doomed.
Yeah.
So the idea, you have to think of an app as a business, right? So without us, the business goes out of business. So we really need to be a bit more proactive. So read the terms and conditions. It's a bit of a hassle, but read them. Look for red flags. Look for what they're collecting. Are they sharing it, they say, to third parties? But also look at the data they're collecting. You know, a weather app might want to collect your location, but a drawing app doesn't need your location. So look for that kind of information and go through these terms and conditions with your child. So your child can see that this is what you do when you collect, when you get a new app. And also do things like, it's really important that we educate children around this, and also just looking
review the parental control on it, yeah.
That's right. So just remember, parental controls won't necessarily save you because they're also collecting data. So whatever
We're doomed.
Oh my God.
Go back outside and play with a stick and stick in a ball, right?
We're talking about kids, not dogs.
Joe, always good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what a minefield.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
Joe.